Hey, you guys, and I am refilming this for I don't even know how long, but I feel like I finally settled, and I'm not going to cough or sneeze or come off as slightly someone who's crazy on the NyQuil thing, and that's probably because I'm overdue for my next dose, so I better hurry up and do this. Yeah, so this is my November wrap up, and I did sort of good. I read like 13 books and sort of bad because I'm still like 16 books behind, so I didn't read as many as I wanted to, obviously. But let's go ahead and get started. Most of them were on my Kindle, so you're gonna be seeing a lot of my computer. But this is the first one I read was The Tiny Book of Tiny Stories by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And it's small and tiny, and he just has like pictures like this. Sometimes it takes up both pages, sometimes not, and then they have words. And this one says, "I found life's loophole. Now I get away with everything." So it's just short and sweet like that on every page. So it's really great and funny, and I like it. And like they have this one which is really colorful and nice, and it just says, "And when the day is done, I will follow you into the sun." So I really like that, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I'm hoping to get volume 1 and 3 soon. Volume 3 just came out lately, so So the next one that I read was Phantom File by Patrick Harmon, and it's set in between the Dark Eden series. Like I have Dark Eden somewhere, but this is the sequel over here, Dark Eden Eve of Destruction. Is set between the two, and it just looks like this, and it's a novelette, and it took me right back to the just right back into the storyline, and I loved it, and I really wish he would write more in this series. I don't know where he'd go with it, but it'd be awesome. And I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. And then the next book I read was 25 Love Poems for the NSA. And if you guys can see that, this one's kind of bright. And this is just like every poem in this book is has a word, has one or more words in it that have been taken from the NSA's watch list. And it says, "By transmitting this book via email or other means, you're liably tracked by the NSA as a potential terrorist threat." And this book is dedicated to how ridiculous that is. So I decided to get it. It's like $2.99 or something. And I read his other book, which one was it? I Wrote This For You. So it was really good. I gave it like a 3 or 4 out of 5 stars. Technically I gave it a 3, but I'm still debating on the 4 because I feel like I gave it more of a 3.5, and I wasn't sure if I want to round down or up. And it's such a struggle because poetry is so subjective. So I'm probably going to end up rereading it again and then making a final decision. But I'm trying to find it on my Kindle here so I can read like the first poem for you. It's like 4 lines. You'll kind of get how the book goes. "There's something intensely romantic in the notion that if you ever feel alone and toxic, you can just pick up the phone and start to talk, and someone will always be listening." So I guess you can guess which one is on the NSA watch list or not. So then the next book that I read was In the After by Demetria Lanuda, and this is how it looks. Yeah, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. It was fantastic. It was awesome. I love the characters. I love the writing. I love where it was going. And basically the only problem I had with it was that it was predictable. Like pretty much I wasn't surprised by anything, but it's a testament to the writing and the characters that I didn't mind that I found it predictable, that I just enjoyed it and them. And so anyway, this follows this girl Amy a couple of years after at home she was watching TV, and then this alien race attacked the world, and they're just called them by her. It follows her like 3 years later, I believe, and she's just like kind of surviving in that world. And also she picks up this girl and she names her Baby or whatever, and they live together. I guess she picked her up somewhere along the way, but then one day after years of hiding and stuff, they get rescued and taken to this New Hope, a colony of survivors, and is living in a formal government research compound, and things start to unfold and stuff like that. So it was really interesting. I gave it a 5 out of 5, and I'm definitely going to be buying the sequel. Now the next book I read I'm gonna say, like, from here on out, I think it was just mostly straight up romance. Like, seriously, it was just romance and short books. And here we go. The first one was The Proposition, and it was a free one by Lucia Jordan. So this one's kind of racy. If you guys can see that, I think. And I gave this a 2 out of 5 stars. It was okay. It was about this girl Megan, and she kind of has this crush on her boss, and he one day proposes a no strings attached kind of thing going on. It was just okay. There's more to this because it's one of those free ones where they want you to buy the next couple of ones for each like $2.99, and I just didn't feel like it was worth it yet. So we'll see, maybe one day. The next one was another novelette, and it's called Love Sucks and Then You Die. Nice title, yes, I know. It's a Eve and Adam short by Michael Grant and Catherine Applegate, and this takes place before Eve and Adam, obviously, and it just has this like short thing where the main character Evie had went to the prom and stuff like that. And I have to say, I love the title and the cover better than the first one, and I gave the first book, Eve and Adam, like 4 out of 5. This I gave a 3 out of 5. It was good, nice writing style, everything. The next book that I read was one I was so excited because I hadn't been paying attention, and this came out already, and it is Shock and Awe by Abigail Rowan. It's a Sidewinder story. This is how it looks, and this is a spin-off of the Cut and Run series, which features Ty and Zay, and this one features Nick and Kelly, and kind of how they kind of fall into that love trap, I guess. I really should stop that. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. It was awesome. It was good, and I just can't wait to see what happens. And we saw a little Ty and Zane toward the end, and I was just like so excited, and I can't wait for the next Ty and Zane story, which I believe comes out in March. And I'm just like, it's just not coming fast for me. It's just not coming fast enough. Okay, moving on. The next thing that I read was The Sheik's Dangerous Lover, and this was a free book on the Kindle, and it's by Elizabeth Lennox, and another romance one. And that's how it looks. You guys see that? And by the title, you guys can guess where that's going. So, or the cover. So this is just like in a fairy tale. The Shalik Malik has to find a bride in order to like have some stability in his country. He needs to have a bride and like heirs and stuff, and then he finds a one girl who kind of didn't really, but like he's kind of intrigued about her. So what's a guy to do, really? And I gave this one a 4 out of 5, and it was really good. I was really interested. I just wanted a little bit more detail and more tighter writing, and made it longer. But you know, it was a free book. It was short, and you can't complain. But the next thing I read was a Harry Potter prequel by J.K. Rowling, which was just a little short story that she wrote for charity one time on a piece of like paper at the bottom of a card. It was just for fun. So there's like no official cover or anything, but it's like 3 years before the birth of Harry Potter, and it follows Sirius Black and James Potter, and it was good. I liked it. I gave it 3 out of 5. Just, you know, as always, just wish it was longer. The next thing I read was something I got on a whim also, and it's Try by Ella Frank, and it follows this guy Logan Mitchell who's just really just like strutting it, like guys, girls, it doesn't matter, he's all over, he's the ultimate playboy. And he meets this guy Tate Morrison, who's just recently divorced from his wife, who is just horrible, like seriously people. And anyway, he's as straight as they come, or so whatever he thinks. And then I don't know, some sparks kind of fly between those two, and we see that kind of go down. And I was really glad to learn that this is part of a series, because this is the only one that's out yet. So there's going to be a number 2, and I'm so excited for that. And that one has definitely be on my to buy list, and I'm really going to get. The next thing that I read was On Dublin Street by Samantha Young. And this one I keep hearing a lot about, so I decided to go ahead and try that out. And it was better than I expected. Apparently it was not part of a ghost story. It didn't have to do with Jack the Ripper. I'm not sure why that was in my head, but it was. And it follows this girl, Jocelyn Butler, and this guy, Braden Michael. And she kind of has dual citizenship between Scotland and the United States. And after something tragic happens in the States, she moves to Scotland, and she makes that her home. And then there she meets Braden, who's used to kind of getting what he wants, and he kind of wants her in his bed or whatever. But she's kind of skittish of relationships, and so he proposes a no strings attached kind of thing. And we always in these books, we know how that ends up. So yeah. So the next thing that I read was On Dublin Street, a Christmas short, Street Christmas, and it's just like a little in between thing of like between this book and the next book for Josh and Braden. And so yeah, it was nice seeing them again. And then I read another book by Samantha Young, was Until Fountain Bridge, and it's also a little short for the Dublin Street thing. And this one follows Ella Carmichael, who was Braden's sister, and we saw her and her love interest, Adam Sutherland, in the first book, and this is kind of like their backstory and stuff like that. So that was really good. Did I even show that? Did I show that? Yeah, there we go. So that was really good, and I gave that 4 out of 5. I actually gave both the shorts a 4 out of 5. They were really good. So that's all I read. I read like 13 books, 13 romantic, basically. Most of them were romance. I'm not gonna lie. I'm already off to start Harlequin Wise, I think, this month. As long as I read books, I'm okay with it. So that's what I read for November. So you guys let me know what you guys read for the month of November, and whether it was, if you guys reached your Goodreads goal or not. I'll talk about that more during my TBR. But you guys let me know what you read and what was your favorite book in the after. It was definitely on my list of my favorites. The Tiny Book of Tiny Stories was such a surprise. It was lovely, and I really want to get the other ones. Shock and Awe, just, do I really have to put that? That is like in the stratosphere. I shouldn't even mention that it is automatically always going to be there. And On Dublin Street was more of a surprise, and I look forward to reading the other ones in the series. I believe they follow other people, so that's going to be interesting. And Dark Eden is just that series that I went back to, that I'm just like, I want to go. I feel like rereading them, but I won't, because I already read them. I think, was it this year? I don't even remember. I just the haze. I think I read them like late last year, so I kind of want to reread them, but I have to finish. I have to read books that's going to count towards my goal, and they don't count year after year, so I can't reread them. So sad about that. But so yeah, you guys let me know, and I will see you guys later. Bye.